Which actor was fired the night before filming? And which mega pop stars are super fans of Mean Girls? And many more things that you probably didn't catch. And who is Glenn Coco? So stick around and pucker up. It's gonna be fetch.
Gretchen.
Welcome to Kiss Me, where we dive into all of your favorite rom-coms. I'm Andy H, and today we'll be gushing about Mean Girls, released in 2004. Made for $17 million, grossing $130 million at the box office. This cult classic,
On Wednesdays, we wear pink.
which even has its own Mean Girls Day.
It's October 3rd.
Katie, a high schooler that moves from Africa to Illinois. Written by comedic genius, SNL alum Tina Fey, and produced by Lorne Michaels. Katie makes new friends, and the comedic antics ensue when they try to bring down the popular Mean Girls, aka the Plastics.
What?
The story. Mean Girls was based off of a non-fiction self-help book called Queen Bees and Wannabes. The idea was immediately supported by Lorne Michaels,
I'm committed to doing the show.
and Paramount purchased the rights to the book. When Faye started writing, she didn't realize it was just a guidebook with no fiction narrative and might have backed herself into a corner. Faye wrote the whole plot from scratch, drawing on her own high school experience, where she said she revisited high school behaviors of her own. In the book, the most popular girl is given the title Queen Bee, aka Regina George, which Regina means queen in Latin, Italian, and Romanian. The movie was almost titled
Homeschooled. Wait, what?
but landed on the Mean Girls title when Faye swapped out Katie, initially being locally homeschooled, to moving from Africa. Rated R. Original cut of the film earned an R rating from the MPAA. Director Mark Waters pushed back, claiming that there were jokes comparable to the PG-13 film Anchorman.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Faye had to change various jokes to obtain the PG-13 rating. Lines that were changed included, "Is your cherry popped?" to
Is your muffin buttered?
which Faye made up.
What?
Same went for the girl who made out with a hot dog.
Made out with a hot dog.
Was initially wrote as masturbated with a hot dog. And when Katie walks in on Jason and Gretchen kissing at a party, it was actually intended to be more graphic. What if they were played by?
Oh God, honey, no.
The Disney movie Freaky Friday got in the way of Lindsay Lohan playing Regina George.
No.
Lohan had no interest in playing Katie, an audition for Regina, the villain.
Oh, this is Susan from Planned Parenthood.
But Paramount was having none of it. Due to Freaky Friday that was recently released in theaters, it was thought that it wasn't good for Lohan's reputation to play a mean girl, and the audience wouldn't accept it. Oh, if only they had a crystal ball. Funnily enough, Rachel McAdams initially wanted to play Katie, the role that Lohan eventually landed. But Waters expressed that McAdams was more frightening, and Faye felt that McAdams' real-life polite nature made her perfect for such an evil character.
Whatever.
McAdams actually studied Alec Baldwin's character in Glengarry Glen Ross
You can't pull. You are. Hit the bricks, pal, and beat it.
to become Regina George. Amanda Seyfried, who played Regina's airhead friend Karen,
Dumbest girls you will ever meet.
was also considered to play Katie and was very close to playing Regina. Lorne Michaels, however, suggested that she read for Karen,
I have a fifth sense.
and the rest is history. Seyfried, a soap opera alum, said the role was easy to play as it was her go-to persona to get through high school. Rumors have it that Blake Lively, Scarlett Johansson, auditioned to play Karen. James Franco was initially cast to play Aaron Samuels. However, he was fired last minute after the table read, and Jonathan Bennett flew in overnight to play the Aaron Samuels that we all know and we love. Bennett reminded Faye of her SNL co-star Jimmy Fallon, that also possibly got him the role. Lizzie Kaplan's character Janice Ian was named after the singer-songwriter from the 60s and 70s. Ian's 1975 chart-topping song, At 17, was an anthem for teenage angst, so the name seemed fitting to the character, whereas the vibe and costumes for the character was more Kelly Osbourne. The iconic song was also used in the background.
Well, there must be something you're good at.
Lacey Chabert was the only person ever considered for the role of Gretchen, whereas for Damien, the casting department searched through 4 cities to find the right actor.
It's beautiful.
Open Letter. Damien, played by Daniel Francesi, fully embraces his own sexuality as an openly gay high schooler.
Wow, Damien, you've truly outgayed yourself.
10 years later, wrote an open letter about how he struggled with his own identity and how Damien's character taught him to be proud of himself and what it meant to fit in for queer individuals and for people of size by giving an identity in pop culture where they're not made fun of. Daniel himself came out in 2014. It's all in the name. Many characters in Mean Girls are real-life friends of Tina Fey. Damien is named after TV Guide writer and summer theater friends since teenage years Damien Holbrook. Katie Heron
C-A-D-Y. Yeah, I'm gonna call you Kat.
is named after Tina Fey's college roommate Katie Gary, and the character Miss Norbury was named after a German teacher where Tina Fey attended, famous Glen Coco.
Glen Coco? Fall for you, Glen Coco. You go, Glen Coco.
Glen Coco scene was so famous that this deserves its own category. Glen Coco is named after Fey's older brother's LA film editor friend. The Canadian actor David Reel, who also played Glen Coco, was originally not cast to be in the movie. The actor only hung around set for free food after he was passed on an audition. The director recognized him and decided to put him in for the famous scene. The 4 SNL vets. The film cast includes 4 SNL cast members: Tina Fey, Anna Gasteyer, Amy Poehler, and Tim Meadows. Fey wrote the role of Regina's mother, June George, for her real-life best buddy, Poehler, but was convinced the producers would think Poehler was too young to have a teenage daughter. Poehler was given the role, but was actually only 7 years older than McAdams, who was 25 at the time of filming.
Not like a regular mom. I'm a cool mom. Right, Regina?
The 2 besties were also Kevin G's rap coaches on set. The legendary rap
Oh, you sucker MCs ain't got nothing on me.
gave the actor Rajiv Surendra a pep video of them rapping and beatboxing that helped him get into character and do his thing on the mic.
Thank you, Kevin. That's enough.
Tim Meadows actually broke his hand before shooting and fully expected Fey to recast his character.
Hell no. I did not leave the South Side for this.
Instead, Fey wrote in
My carpal tunnel came back.
as an explanation so Meadows could still become Mr. Duval. Superfans. Mariah Carey has said on several occasions that she has been a huge fan of Mean Girls, and with her 2009 single Obsessed, channeling Regina George with the Mean Girls line,
Why are you so obsessed with me?
I was like, why are you so obsessed with me?
and in the music video, there's someone that gets hit by a bus. Ariana Grande also parodied Mean Girls in her 2018 music video, Thank You Next, and President Obama's dog Bo holding a tennis ball with the caption, Bo, stop trying to make fetch happen. Talent show. When Damien performs Beautiful by Christina Aguilera, off camera, the only person in the audience was the actor's real-life mother. The Jingle Bell Rock skirts were actually made out of plastic to represent the plastics. And the talent show was also set on Thanksgiving, as seen by this poster in the girls' bathroom, which is quite odd for US high school, as most schools are off the week of Thanksgiving. Fetch dog, fetch. Mean Girls has some famous fan favorite lines like,
Boo, you whore. You're like really pretty. Do you agree?
What?
You think you're really pretty.
but the most famous line of all is,
So fetch. That was so fetch. That is so fetch. What is fetch?
Oh, it's like slang.
the term fetch was made up by Faye. She intentionally avoided teenage expressions on purpose to avoid dating the movie.
Stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen.
In order for Regina's dog to follow its directions of biting Regina's mom's nipple, Poehler pinned a cocktail sausage in her costume.
Mom?
McAdams was afraid that this dog would tear her apart.
Oh, I love you so much.
Yummy goodness.
What are Caltine bars?
Bars that Katie gives to Regina to lose weight, but they're actually
They're these weird Swedish nutrition bars. My mom used to give them to the kids in Africa to help them gain weight.
apparently tasted like Reese peanut butter cups and cookie dough on the set.
Yeah, there's some weird ingredient in them that's not legal in the US.
Dylan's Candy Bar released the actual bars. As of today, I can't seem to find them online. However, you can make them. I'll post a link for the recipe in the comments below.
Oh, God love you.
The ugliest effing skirt
That is the ugliest effing skirt I've ever seen.
was inspired by Faye's mother. She had a habit that if she saw a lady in an ugly hat or a glittery sweatshirt, she would say, I love your shirt.
Where did you get it?
Clearly, they wanted someone to notice. They picked it out. Mean Girls 2.0. Faye shot down talks of a sequel and regrets it to this day, saying it's much too late. In 2011, a TV film, Mean Girls 2, premiered on ABC, with only Tim Meadows returning for his role. There's also a Mean Girls musical on Broadway, which opened on Broadway in 2018, which initially premiered in Washington in 2017. Rumors have it that Faye is working on adapting the musical back to the big screen. Did you notice? Did you catch the foreshadowing with the yellow school bus? First is when Katie's first day when she doesn't check the road. The second time is when Katie uses the simile.
But this one hit me like a big yellow school bus.
At the top of the lunch map, did you notice where it says makeout zone warning? There is sexual activity in these woods. This frequently goes unnoticed because the camera quickly zooms in closer to the lunch tables. Remember the girl that makes out with a coach called
Trank Pack?
Later at the Mathletes final, we think it's her brother because his name is T-Pack. If you watch closely here,
That is the ugliest effing skirt I've ever seen.
Rachel McAdams is staring into your soul for a split second, but I definitely did a quick check of my clothes as she said that. Lowen had more than 50 wardrobe changes, and it was only 30 plus for the other plastics. Costume designer Mary Jane Ford used yearbooks outside of major cities for inspiration.
Can I have the lavatory pass?
When the science teacher denies Katie a lavatory pass, the blackboard behind him incorrectly lists the element of silicon as silicone, a gentle yet subtle message of the plastic. Please take a moment to like, subscribe, and comment to this channel. This will really help me to keep on going. So now on to our rapid fire goof ups. It's magic. After the Halloween party, when Katie walks in, Damien gets scared and throws his popcorn in the air. But when you cut back, his bowl is full again. When Janice shouts at Katie out of Damien's car, Katie says,
"You know what? It's not my fault you're like in love with me or something."
And after she says this, her mouth visibly moves, saying more words, but no audio is heard.
What?
Oh no, she did not.
When the plastics are explaining to Katie the rules at lunch, an extra in a red shirt walks directly in front of the camera, and then a bit later, she walks in front of the camera again in the same direction. Oh, this is my favorite. It's a scene where Katie starts breaking her tiara. She breaks the tiara in half and tosses half to Gretchen, another half to Janice, another half to Regina, another half to Emma Gerber, and some little pieces to the crowd, and another half to Jessica Lopez. Oh, and more pieces to the crowd. And at the end, she still has half for herself. Something doesn't add up. When Katie puts her drink on a pile of CDs, but then for a split second later, the cup is back on the table next to the CDs, we can see within this scene that the donuts on the desk are changing in between shots. In this shot here, there's donuts on top of the box, but in other shots, there are no donuts, which honestly must mean
What?
Homer Simpson is in the building. The magic pants. When Katie ran into Mrs. Norbury in the first day of school and spills coffee all over her, look at Tina Fey's pants. It looks like she's wearing rubber pants when the coffee hits her, and the color of the pants also changed during the shot. The burn book. The handwriting in between the shots of
She is a fugly slut.
Take a peek at the G and the Y. Using Regina's writing, they have curled ends. Now take a look at the Y here. They are straight, and the line and the exclamation point also change. When Regina tosses the copies of the burn book on the hall floor, she drops them sporadically. But in the next shot, the papers are spread evenly across the hall. Let's do a retake. When Regina and Katie are talking on the phone about Gretchen, Regina is eating a donut, but at first she's bitten into the whole of the donut. Later, the inner rim is still intact, and the only part of the outside has been eaten. When Katie and the plastics are shopping, you can see in the back an advertisement for Bell Mobility. Bell Mobility is a Canadian cell phone company that doesn't serve in the US. But this makes sense because the scene was actually filmed in Toronto. And when Coach Carr's key goes from outside his jacket to inside his jacket, halfway through the sentence,
"Because you will get pregnant and die."
Deleted scene. As in many movies, there were various scenes that were deleted.
Protein bars?
However, fans were up in arms when they found the bathroom scene
Regina!
that added closure to Regina and Katie's relationship.
I'm sorry about the bus. I feel like it's all my fault.
Stop trying to make this about you. I'm the one that got hit by the bus.
Well, I'm sorry about all the other stuff, too.
I'm going to forgive you.
I like this scene because it gives us another cameo from Polar.
Regina! What are you doing? They're gonna announce the queen! Hello.
What are your thoughts?
Ugh.
Add it in the comments below. Show us some love. Be sure to like, subscribe, and tag that alert bell to dive into further awkward but sweet encounters of our favorite rom-coms. Also pop in your suggestions of which movies are your favorites. Until then, I'm Andy H, and this is Kiss Me. Pucker up.
Seriously, most people just take the crown and go.